Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is President J, and this is Bajger News. Tonight we'll be covering the recently completed expedition of Meriwether Lewis and William Clark. As well as showing you footage from this expedition, and exclusively to Bajger News, we'll be conducting an exclusive sit-down interview with Meriwether Lewis, William Clark, and for the first time ever on Bajger News, President Thomas Jefferson. But first in news tonight, it has been recently brought to my attention that many of our viewers assume that I do not know how to tie a tie. And I'm here to confirm those rumors are 100% correct, because not only do I not know how to tie a tie, it isn't even a real tie. It's a bandana with an American flag design on it. God bless the USA. On to our actual news tonight. 2 men, sent out by Thomas Jefferson to map the land of Louisiana, have returned from their expeditions. How did they complete their journey? What obstacles did they stumble upon? And did they complete their objective? Find out when we return. Welcome back to Bajger News. 2 men, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, sent out by President Thomas Jefferson to survey and map the land of the Louisiana Territory. What obstacles did they come across? What kind of oppositions did they face? And could they complete their objective? We find out as we go to our broadcast partner, Brandon J, who will examine and break down the footage that we have from their expedition. Brandon?
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. Here I stand in the Louisiana Territory where Meriwether Lewis and William Clark made their legendary expedition known. It was in 1803 that Thomas Jefferson decided it was time to expand America to the West Coast. So in December of 1803, Thomas Jefferson successfully obtained the Louisiana Territory from France and would send his own secretary, Meriwether Lewis, and Lewis's acquaintance, William Clark, on an expected 2-year journey to map this unknown land. After purchasing the land of Louisiana from France, Thomas Jefferson would send Meriwether Lewis and William Clark to map this new territory. Their expedition began at Camp Wood outside of St. Louis, Missouri in the summer of 1804. They traveled up the Missouri River, where they would settle in a trading post called Fort Mandan and wait for the winter to pass. In spring of 1805, they would set out again. They continued up the Missouri River to Three Forks, Montana. And traveled along the Jefferson River, which would lead them to the Shoshone Indians, who would help them traverse the intimidating mountains ahead. Next, they traveled downriver into the mouth of Columbia, where they would once again hold out at Fort Clatsop for the winter. In spring of 1806, they'd make their way back to St. Louis and return their findings to Jefferson, which included maps and details of the new land, completing their great journey. A journey that will be recorded in history and remembered through the ages. Back to you, Brandon.
Thanks for that, Brandon. When we return, we will be showing the 3 exclusive sit-down interviews with Meriwether Lewis, William Clark, and President Thomas Jefferson. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bajger News. Our first interview of the night is with one of the 2 men who set out to survey and map the land of the Louisiana Territory. Our first interview tonight is with none other than Mr. William Clark. Join me as I dive into the world of William Clark and ask him the hard-hitting questions about his life, his experiences, and his journey. I gotta ask you something real quick. Yeah, of course.
How do you not know how to tie a tie?
It's not really that bad, okay? It's not that bad.
Just
Blah, 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 blah. Well, how are you doing? I mean, you just returned from a 2-year expedition. I mean, you've got to be, no, I'm feeling pretty good, man. I mean, Lewis and I, we just finished mapping Louisiana. Can you believe that? Anyways, pretty good, man. Pretty good. Now, I must ask, how did you feel when you were recruited by Mr. Lewis to do this expedition with him? It was honorable, man. I mean, Lewis and I, we've known each other for a while now, and to do something this big with him, I mean, it was there's no bigger honor. I mean, it's just nothing short of amazing to do.
I next asked Mr. Clark what he thought was the most interesting thing he found on his expedition.
I'll definitely mean the Shoshone Indians. I mean, those guys, I've heard rumors about those guys, but I mean, if it wasn't for them lending us their skills at traversing mountains, we wouldn't even be where we are today. I mean, those guys are truly great men.
Finally, I asked Mr. Clark his thoughts on his partner, Meriwether Lewis.
Okay. I've known Lewis for a long time now, and he's a great man, okay? He's a great man, but he's a little crazy in the head sometimes. And I don't know if that's from working under Jefferson. When you talk to Jefferson, you'll figure that out. But either way, he's a great guy. Just a bit unhinged at times, as you'll see if you talk to him. Just take my word.
Brandon J., Bajger News.
Our next interview of the night was originally scheduled to be Meriwether Lewis, but due to his own conspiracy theories about this new show being ran by the lizard people of the moon, he did not feel comfortable showing up here tonight. So we now go to a live Skype call with none other than Mr. Meriwether Lewis. Mr. Meriwether Lewis, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah! Now, hold on, baby, before you lizard people shut up.
Okay. How are you doing? Are you feeling okay?
Oh, I never been better. You know, the lizard people are here. And I'm alright. Well, now I kind of hurt my elbow when I fell, but oh, now I'm doing just fine. All right, so, oh yeah.
Okay. How did you feel about your partner in your expedition, William Clark?
Good guy, yeah. He's a good guy. He got over there sometime, but you know, he's a good guy after all. He's better than all you lizard people at the moon. I tell you what, I don't trust you people. I don't trust y'all at all. I think y'all a bunch of liars. Y'all some lizards. Y'all liars. I don't trust y'all.
Okay. What kind of things did you find on your expedition that you found it?
Now you judge me, huh? You prejudge me, boy. I see what you're trying to do here. You're gonna go on Twitter and you're gonna tell all your lizard friends about me. And you're gonna lie. You're gonna spread the word. And not today, lizard. Woo! Not today, lizard. I ain't gonna let the lizards get me today. Y'all lizards ain't doing nothing to me today. No. Not today.
Okay.
Next.
Okay. How did you feel after you had completed your expedition?
All right. I can't do this. You lizard people are liars. You know what?
I can assure you that no lizard people are running this new.
I ain't never gonna talk to any of y'all. I don't trust you.
Mr. Wood.
Lizard TV show. I don't trust you lizard friends. I'll tell you what, the expedition, they did some stuff. I do not like to talk about. And you lizard people ain't helping that fact, so I tell you what. We're in this broadcast right now, I'll tell you what. We're gonna end this right here, right now. Goodbye, lizard people.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. You'll be okay. Moving on. Our next and final interview of the night is with the man who sent Meriwether Lewis and William Clark on their legendary expedition to survey and map the Louisiana Territory. Tonight, in a very special interview, join me as I sit down with the President of the United States, President Thomas Jefferson.
Can I ask you something, son?
Oh yeah, of course, sir.
Is that true you don't even know how to tie your own tie? I mean, that's sad. I'll tell you what, that's very sad. I mean, you should learn how to tie your own tie. If you were like my boy, my boy.
First tonight, Mr. President, I gotta ask, why Meriwether Lewis? I mean, was there any reasoning behind it?
He was my secretary. I mean, I trusted him, you know, and he brought in William Clark, and, you know, those two, they went together better than two peas in a pot, I tell you what. You know, they had that special connection, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, those two, you could just see between the two of them, something special was going on there. So I knew those two were the right men to send out on this environment.
What were some of the things that you hoped Lewis and Clark would find on their expedition?
Well, I really wanted them to be able to find a water route that would connect Columbia to the Missouri River. So that way we could have access to the ports outside the Gulf of Mexico, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, those boys sure did make me proud when they came home. I'll tell you what, we were so proud of them. I've never been proud of anything else my whole life. I'll tell you what, man. Those boys sure did make me proud.
How do you feel this has impacted America and the immediate future of the country?
Oh, but this has done everything for America, seriously. You know, now that we have the western and central parts of America, man, we can now start colonization, we can start development, we can look for resources, you know, resources. But anyways, those boys make me so proud, I tell you what. Those boys are really a special pair, you know what I'm saying? When I see them next time, I'm going to get them a cookie or something because I tell you what, they really earned themselves a good cookie from Mr. President himself. Wouldn't you agree? I know you would agree. You don't even have to answer that question. I know you already have a hard time being an interviewer anyways. Either way, I am so proud of what this country has become. This country has really become something more than what we could ever see before, I'll tell you what.
Brandon J. Bajger News.
Ah, yes. Very noble words from the president of this great country. Well, that concludes our newscast for tonight. Join us next week as we dive into the topic of why the honey badger still doesn't care and why Kevin Owens would make a better champion than Seth Rollins ever could. My name is Brandon J. And this has been Bajger News. Have a good day. Oh! Oh, there. Oh, I'm dead. Oh.